Hi everyone, my name is Elaine, and I'm very excited to welcome you to this bonus presentation from the Financial Services Cloud team. Today we're going to be talking about our exciting new features and products in our Summer 19 release. And before we get started, I wanted to let you know that we may be covering some product features and items that are coming up in our roadmap, so please make your purchasing decisions based off of products available in the market today. I want to introduce the team, and Charlie, why don't you kick us off?
Sure. I'm Charlie. I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about some great new enhancements we're bringing specifically around insurance, life events, and lightning flows for Financial Services Cloud.
Hey, I'm Chirag Mehta, and I'm going to be talking to you about new features that we've built in Action Plans as well as Lightning Scheduler.
Hi, this is Radha Vivek. I'm here to talk to you about Einstein Analytics for Financial Service Cloud and also introduce a brand new analytics application for retail banking.
Great, thanks. So let's kick things off. These are the features we're going to be talking about today. We're going to start with Insurance Innovation for Financial Services Cloud, and then go in this order and wrap up with Radha for Einstein Analytics for Financial Services Enhancements, and then we'll end the session talking about our newest trail in Financial Services Cloud. And to kick us off, Charlie, back to you to talk about insurance.
Okay, great. So the first thing I want to do is give credit to the folks that have been working on these great new innovations for insurance, led by Venki, Vivek, Rajesh, and Shakri. Now let's hop into these new innovations. So what this slide represents is all of the greatness that we know for the Financial Services Cloud over the past 10 releases. And in this, now our 11th release, we're introducing a few great new enhancements that really are designed to unlock a lot more power for insurance. The first one you can see on the top left is introducing a new insurance data model. We have about 17 new entities coming in a policyholder 360. We'll get into that detail. An insurance agent console. And then the other two on the right-hand side, Lightning Flows for Financial Services Cloud. There are specific flows related to insurance, but it's a little bit broader than that, similar to life events, which are going to add a lot of value to the policyholder 360, but also talk about how that can be leveraged for our wealth and banking customers as well. So let's hop in. The fun place to start is the new insurance data model. So the blue squares those are kind of your core standard objects, so I'm not going to talk about that from Salesforce. But the 17 new green objects are the new ones we're introducing in the Summer 19 release, and are really going to add a ton of new context to unlock lots more value in the Financial Services Cloud for our insurance customers. I'm not going to talk through every single one of them because the detail can be found online and in your orgs once you get this. But a couple of things that I just want to show you to kind of illustrate why we've done what we've done. The first thing is to understand what we're trying to do with these new entities. If you start over at the insurance policy, really what that's about is bringing in the summary information about insurance policies, regardless of what type of policy it is, like the number, the insured, the premiums, and so on. A lot more detail in there. If we go to the policy participant, you'll see that's going to bring in information about which participants, such as drivers, beneficiaries, and you can see how it's linked to both contact and account. Then there's customer property over here, and you can see that's everything around representing the insured assets of a policyholder. Everything down here below is around the insurance policy coverage. So it's the coverages, the riders, the limits, the deductibles. And then we've got all of this stuff over here around claims. These entities around modeling claims, summary information about a claim. One thing that's important in that, obviously, is the claim participant. So information about the participants in that claims process. There's more here, but the last thing I would highlight here is the producer. The producer and credentialing, so you can start modeling the agents, the agencies, and what they're allowed to sell and where. That's a really, really quick breeze through the new data model. Again, lots more information is available online on that. What's a lot more fun to do here is to actually see this come to life in a demonstration. So that's where I'm going to take this next. So here in the demo, we can see we've got, first of all, a brand new application, the Insurance Agent Console. I'm going to hop into this one. And the first thing we'll notice is a new series of homepage components to give that insurance agent or customer service rep in the call center the metrics and the information that they need to really be able to know what they need to do, what's been happening in their book of business, where they need to spend their time. And there's two things to call out here. I'll hop into the Lightning App Builder to show you how quickly and easy it is to configure them a little bit later. But the two components to notice here is this first one. It's a book of business highlight panel that pulls in things like the policies you've sold, the premiums that you've sold, and renewals, a lot of information like that, summarized up, some key KPIs to keep the agents moving. And the second one is similar, just adds some more visuals, some charts around those KPIs. And again, this is all configurable. So really helps the agent understand what's going on and where they need to spend their time. That's the first thing I wanted to show in this org. If we hop on a policyholder profile, so Rachel Adams, our favorite demo persona for the past few years here, she's a policyholder. And we're here on our policyholder profile. It's a person account page. And the first thing I'm going to call out is this new policy component. This entire thing here is starting to bring together a lot of that data model and obviously the information in the data model that I talked through a little bit earlier. First thing before getting into the policies themselves is another set of KPIs or some summary metrics here that you can see here. The premium paid, any open claims there might be related to Rachel, some claims paid, and there's a few others I'll show you once we start configuring that you can insert into these sections. And then underneath that, you see here we've got the policy, and again, summary level information about that policy, and then any open claims, or actually all the claims that have ever been against this policy. So it's really starting to aggregate a lot of that information. And then if I click on that policy, and I can see the policy itself, I see more details, we are intending that this would be used by our customers to pull from their policy administration system. What we're not trying to do is actually go and replace those. We're trying to make it so there's less swivel chairing between systems, and any sort of sales, marketing, service process is now dramatically enhanced because that information is here in the Financial Services Cloud. And then when you go to related, you can see many of these other entities related that I walked through when I talked through the data model a little bit earlier. So it's all here. You'll be able to treat Rachel, the policyholder, much better with tons more context than ever before, thanks to all these new entities being brought together in one place. So what I'm going to do next is quickly hop into the Lightning App Builder just to show you how easy it is to configure some of these new components. I'm going to edit this page. And since we're here, the first thing I'll show you is, again, this new policy component. And all I'm going to show you is simply I clicked on the component, and you can see the KPIs. These are these three fields at the top. How we have these pre-configured options of what you want to show in there. You can actually choose to hide them entirely if you don't want to have them, or you can obviously have them and change them to other things. Like if you don't want claims paid, you can see if there are any new policies or the policies that are coming up for renewal. Additionally, you can choose which participant roles you want to bring together here by selecting them based on what's available to bring in. That's the policy component, nice and easy to configure. If I switch over to the home page where we started, it's quite a similar configuration paradigm with these two components. The first one, I'm clicking on that, and you can see there are 5 placeholders for where you can put these KPIs. And you can see these are all the pre-configured KPIs that are pulling metrics that I had talked about earlier. And these are all of them, so you can just change whichever you want. You can choose to have all 5 populated, or you could actually even select none so it disappears and it doesn't fill the entire space. And then if I click on this component here, this is the insurance agents KPIs component here with 1, 2, 3, 4 chart spaces available. Again, you can select which KPI you want to be pulling, and it's even dynamic to the point where if you select none, one of the other charts expands to fill the entire space. Really nicely designed and built, and excited to have just run you through this first round of insurance capabilities for this release, the summer release.
That's awesome, Charlie, and I'm really glad that you showed the insurance data model, and you also mentioned that that information would be available online. So where can customers go and find the information on the new objects?
All this information will be in the upgrade guide, the FSC upgrade guide, as usual every time we do an upgrade. So all the data, The data model, of course, the details that I sped through, and everything else will be in there.
Got it. And then are these new insurance objects in the managed package?
No, they're not, and this is exciting news for our customers now. They're standard Salesforce objects, so you can leverage them just like everything else actually on this slide here, which is great.
Great. I'll pass it back to you to talk about the next feature.
Okay, let's hop into the next one. I'll hop into life events next. You would have seen it in the demo I was just in, but I wanted to hop out here to introduce it a little bit more formally because it's a great component that our customer has been asking about for a long time. So very happy to say that here it comes. So life events. Life events is designed to help insurance agents or customer service reps really get close to that trusted advisor status. The advice or the engagement that they're providing now will have so much more context because it's just this great visual. I'll hop into the demo to show you to instantly get you either up to speed on who this person is, what's going on in their life, or what they have planned, or to actually use not the component itself, but the data model to start automating, kicking off triggers and automating different actions based on all this information about the policyholder or about clients and customers across wealth and banking. So I'm going to hop into the demo now to take a look at this new component. So here we are on Rachel Adams' person account page again. You can see this nice life events component across the top here. And you can see a lot of different examples of life events that would be relevant in the context of engaging with an end client or policyholder. For example, when they were born, what their studies might have been, a marriage that happened, a major move from city to city. Then you get into things like insurable events, which could be the previous ones, but a car that they bought, or multiple cars that they have, and so on and so forth. We're shipping out of the box 10 life events pre-configured with the icons corresponding with them. But of course, the way that we designed it and built it is that you can actually create your own and change the icons or to put your new ones that you want in there. A couple of things to call out. For one, you can start to tell already just by looking at it, because it's nice and intuitive, how it works. You can create a new life event in two ways. You can either hit the new event button, or you can actually interact with the icons themselves. You just click on that, it turns into a plus, and you're starting to fill out a new life event record right there. Another thing to call out is hovers. The way that you see this ×2 bubble right on top of the icon itself, and that obviously implies that there is more than one. And then you see the high-level details of the life event there, and so on and so forth. And obviously there's another way to add a new one. One last thing to call out here as we're looking at the life events is this way you can kind of dynamically change the way that they're sorted. So you can either leave it as is, or you can show recents first. And that is something that customers were asking for, just from where they want their agents or their CSRs to kind of be focusing their attention from the get-go. That's it. That's life events. It's pretty exciting. Our customers have been giving us great feedback on it so far, and I think we're going to look forward to your feedback on it too. Should be fun.
That's great. And I love how you can capture interesting information like when a customer has bought a house or decided to move. So once you have that information, can you use that to trigger any sort of marketing journeys?
Yeah, so again, the way we built this one, standard in core Salesforce, you can basically, by using triggers and workflows, you could tie it to any process you want. Really exciting. So it's much more than just kind of what it looks like at first. It can really start becoming a core driver for a lot of your processes. Really, really cool.
Great.
All right. I have one more thing before my illustrious colleagues get to start speaking about their items. Lightning Flows for Financial Services Cloud. So Lightning Flows for Financial Services Cloud are templates of flows that our customers can leverage for getting their implementations accelerated. Out of the box, templates, libraries of these templates, and we'll show you what they are. We'll jumpstart the time to value. The usage really obviously is around reducing that swivel chair. Because you can stay within the Financial Services Cloud because these flows are now brought into the FSC. And we've been working with leading partners around integrations so that they will take these flows and start to integrate them into their systems. So once again, I'll hop into the demo just to quickly illustrate what it looks like. Okay, so we're back in the demo looking at Rachel Adams on the person account page. She's calling in because she's unfortunately just crashed one of her vehicles, and so she has to initiate the first notice of loss. That she can do, or well, the agent can do right here, clicking on here, and it kicks off. You can see the list of all the flows that are available. So that's a great first start. You initiate that flow, and here you'll just be capturing information from the phone call or from the data model and the records that are already populated. So that's great. Let me show you, I'm not going to flip through each step of a FNOL, but instead I'd show you, for example, what this flow looks like underneath. So this is just one example of the many flows that we are now shipping in these as templates in these libraries of Lightning Flows for Financial Services Cloud. You can see where it starts. And what's great about this, again, I think I may have mentioned, these can be cloned, these can be edited, these can be extended. And so then what happens at the end of every one of the Lightning Flows that we are packaging up here is they all end in a case. So a case is created and saved against the record. And that's one way that these flows could be leveraged. But we highly anticipate that folks are going to be actually leveraging them and plugging them into other systems. And so we also have the ability for it to create a JSON string that you would then plug into whatever integration points you need. Really great, really valuable. A lot of thought and research went into designing these in the first place. So really excited to see how you're going to be using these.
That's great. And I love how these pre-built flows really provide the end users with step-by-step guidance on how to work through these common service requests. What other pre-built flows are being shipped?
Thank you for asking that, Elaine, because we have them listed out right here. So the Lightning Flows that are coming in the Summer 19 release, you can see here. I'm not going to read every single one of them, but you see two columns. There are some that are more geared towards retail banking, and the other ones, of course, for insurance. So quite a number of them, and this was actually a lot of our customers were telling us, you need this, you need that, and we kind of found the commonality across the board.
That's great. And I know these are being shipped a little bit off cycle. What's the timing on that?
You can follow it closely in our release notes, but it's currently slated for the end of July.
Great. That's awesome. Well, thanks, Charlie, for all your updates. I'm now going to pass it over to Chirag.
Awesome. Thank you, Elaine. So Charlie, that was some pretty cool features that you guys have built out with insurance and life events and of course the Lightning Flows for Financial Services Cloud. But you know what's great? We've taken feedback from our customers and gone ahead and enhanced some existing functionality, starting with action plans. So let's take a look at that. So up until the spring release, action plans supported the accounts object only. With this release, what we've done is extended that capability into multiple additional objects, including 6 standard objects, starting with leads, opportunities, cases, contacts, contracts, campaigns, and also extending this capability to all custom objects, including the ones that are in the FSC managed package, as well as the ones that you create for yourself. So that's one of the biggest capabilities that we've brought out here. The other thing is that we've added a few validations to make sure that the process kind of remains consistent and has the best user experience for your users. Things like making sure that a template can only be published if there's actually a task associated with it, or even if a user leaves the system after the template was created, assigning the task that gets created from the action plan to the action plan creator is what we've added in. And of course, one major feature that we've added in here is Lightning Schedulers integration. So I'll talk about that in just a second. And we've made some enhancements to make the performance of action plans a little bit better, a little bit more smoother for your users. So let's do this. Let's pivot over really quickly into a demo. So on my org, what I'm in is on the action plan template tab. And I'm going to quickly go ahead and create a new template. I can see that I can easily put in a name for any template. So let's say I'm creating a template for mortgage applications. I can choose a target object. So not only can I use the standard objects that I talked about, I can also see all the custom objects that are there in my org and use them as part of this task template orchestration process.
That's great. Thanks, Chirag. And I know in our original release, the customers were really excited about the role resolution and action plans. How does that work now with these additional objects?
That's a fantastic question. So wherever there is the concept of a team inside of the object itself, so think about account teams, opportunity teams, case teams, you have the ability of doing role-based assignment based off of the case or the account team roles. So if your target object is, for example, a case, and you've got a case team associated with it, your templates can be assigned, your template tasks can be assigned to a specific role rather than assigning it to a specific person.
That's awesome. I love how these new objects really unlock a lot of new use cases for our customers, so that's great.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, can you walk through the Lightning Scheduler updates now?
Absolutely. So you asked and we listened, right? So inbound scheduling. So one of the key capabilities of Lightning Scheduler is the ability for a customer to log in into a self-service portal, whether communities or a bank or a company's website, and be able to schedule an appointment for themselves. This capability allows you to do exactly that. It's precision scheduling with self-service. So customers can now book and also manage their appointments with the right resource and the right time and at the right place using these out-of-the-box appointment scheduling flows. As I said, it's available in communities, and also you can use this capability called embedded service to embed it on your own website. Of course, with this, you also get these Lightning Scheduler flows out of the box. So I'm going to quickly just show you a screenshot of what that looks like. I can use the flow builder to customize from one of these templates. So similar to the Lightning flows for Financial Services Cloud that Charlie showed earlier, these flows are also shipped as templates. So you can either use them out of the box, or you can customize them and create your own experience for your customers. Let's pivot over into a demo. All right. As always, I'm on Rachel Adams' client profile, and I'm going to schedule an appointment with her. So this time, instead of me trying to schedule an appointment with her, I'm going to try to enable her to schedule an appointment with me. How do I do that? It's very simple. What I have to do is get into the Communities Builder and quickly drag over the Flows component from the Process Automation tab onto the screen layout. And once I've done that, I have the ability of pointing the flow component to any of the Lightning Scheduler flows available in the org. Now, we've already shipped 4 Lightning Scheduler flows as templates out of the box, which you can just use if you want. So that's inbound new appointment, inbound cancel appointment, inbound modify appointment, and also outbound flow. So if you don't want to use any of these templates, but would rather prefer to use a custom template or a custom flow, you could also see that in here and point the flow component to that specific flow. Once you publish this community, that component would now be ready for Rachel Adams to go in and start scheduling. So let's take a look. I'm logged in as Rachel Adams on the community profile. And what I see here is that the inbound scheduling capability is embedded on the customer community on the homepage itself. I can start by searching for a specific resource if I know who that preferred banker is. I can also search for an attendee based off of the needs that I have and specifically at the location that I want to meet the person at. Or I can select from one of the past 4 people that I've had appointments with. So that makes the appointment booking process a little bit simpler. Let's say I'm going to find a person. So when I go through the process, I can select what my reason is. So let's say I want to get a mortgage. Once I get through these steps of selecting where the appointment is going to be at, I can type in what the address of that location looks like. All right, so I see that the closest location is the Market Street branch. So once I select that and click Next, I am presented with a list of people who are available at the Market Street branch to talk to me about a mortgage. When I click upon any one of these guys, I can see the times that they are available at. Of course, as always, I can navigate between weeks and select the time that works for me. Or I can even go to another person and see that their availability is dynamically refreshed the moment I click on here. Selecting and saving the appointment is as always, and that saves the appointment into the Lightning Scheduler system.
Great. And did you also want to show how action plans might integrate with Lightning Scheduler?
Sure, absolutely. So for that, let me quickly go over into the process builder. What I've done in this specific process is created this custom flow of sorts that allows me to trigger an action plan based off of an appointment being created. So it starts when there's an appointment that gets created. And every time I want to make sure that the appointment is about a mortgage to make sure that the mortgage action plan gets applied. And once that is true, it basically applies the right action plan template by searching for the version ID to the account that the appointment was set with. So very simple, very straightforward. Once I do that, every time I create an appointment for a mortgage, I'm going to be able to see that the action plan for that mortgage onboarding also gets applied.
I love how Action Plans is now certified with Lightning Scheduler. Are there other features or products that could also work with Lightning Scheduler now?
Great question, Elaine. So yes, absolutely. We've also certified Salesforce surveys to work with the Lightning Scheduler. And of course, as always, you can use process automation to integrate Lightning Scheduler into any of your standard or custom workflows or processes.
That's great. Okay, so now I have this other question. Hopefully it's not too tricky. Let's say, I have a client and they have an assigned preferred banker, but there's also another banker that they don't really want to talk to at all. How can I actually set that up for my client so they don't have that as an option,
Are you trying to mess with me, Elaine? Oh no, that's a simple thing to do. All right, so to do this, I'm back on Rachel Adams's profile. If I go over into the Related tab, there's the related list called Resource Preferences. I can set up a specific resource as a required resource or as a preferred resource. I can also set another resource as an excluded resource, and you can set as many excluded and required resources as possible. And what that will do is make sure that only the right people, the preferred people, show up for appointments that they are geared to take up, and the excluded resources never show up when trying to schedule an appointment.
That's awesome. Love how that's an option for our customers. That's great. Well, thanks so much, Chirag, for all your updates. And Radha, will you wrap this up with the Einstein Analytics for Financial Services?
Sure, that would be great. Thank you, Chirag. I can't wait to build analytics on top of all the features that you just introduced. With that, I want to go back and talk about, we introduced in spring 19, we launched a pre-built analytics application for FSE, very specific to wealth subvertical. In this release, we enhanced this application with predictive capabilities, very specific to wealth management use cases. Let me jump into the demo and show how the product looks like and how can customers use this. All right, so here we are looking at the clients at risk. As an advisor, I come in, I log into my system of engagement, which is FSE. I'm in the home page. Right here, the analytics dashboard is embedded without losing the context that all the things that I have to do as I log into Salesforce on a daily basis. Right here, I can take a look at all the clients who are at attrition risk, and it's nicely divided under what's their total assets, what's their wallet share, and of course, it's also showing me the predicted churn score. Of course, I'm interested in looking at the clients who are at greater risk of attriting. So right here, it is giving me the score, and it's also giving me the number of clients who are assigned with that score. Let me slice it down to a smaller list of clients by looking at their total assets under management. Here you go. I see 2 customers who are most likely to attrit. So then I can plan my day ahead and then engage with them that they want. This information is not only available in this homepage and dashboard. I can also look at within the context of each of those customers. Let me drill into one of those clients that I manage. So right here, I can look at Martin. His churn prediction score is super low, which is a good thing. And look at the model. It is super transparent, meaning it also telling you all the causes that are leading up to that score. So it's pretty transparent to know that what is actually causing to predict a certain score for this given client. There are 2 use cases that are coming out of box with the predictive capabilities. One is a churn prediction, and the second one is likely to add assets. As a financial banker, I almost always want to know who are those clients who are likely to add more assets to their portfolio. So again, this model is very transparent. It's giving all the leading causes with respect to how the score is getting calculated. The embedded insights are not just for accounts. They are spread across pretty much most of the Salesforce records that are available in Salesforce. Let me show you how it looks like in the financial account. So I clicked on this sample account. It's actually showing me the percentage change with respect to the total balance. It almost looks like for this particular customer with this financial account, there is a sudden drop in the account balance. So as a banker, I might want to follow up with that client to see what is causing the concern. So it's not only financial accounts, it's available in leads. The embedded insights are available in the lead page, opportunity page, wherein a banker can go in and get micro insights without leaving the business context where they are in. In addition to analytics application for wealth management, in this release, we are also launching a brand new analytical application for retail banking subvertical as well, which can be used by retail bankers and branch managers for their tactical and strategic business goals. Let me show you the demo. So I'm here in the analytics dashboard as a retail personal banker. I come in and I can look at what are my activities in a given period of time, how many calls am I making, how many emails am I sending, and of course, it's also nicely divided into balance as well. Basically, I want to understand where am I spending my time with respect to what kind of customers that I am managing. This is one of the dashboards, and then let me talk to you about the other dashboard as well, customer acquisition. Essentially, this dashboard is telling me as a retail banker what are the leads and referral sources that I have, who are my best referrers, and how are those leads progressing with respect to converting them into a customer and then eventually into a private client as well. Another dashboard that I want to give you insight into is how can I find my top customers. Basically, it's slicing and dicing by customers by balance bucket. It nicely drills down into all the charts that you can see on the dashboard. And of course, you can also look at the customers by tenure bucket, which means if they have been a loyal customer for a long time, then you definitely want to pay more attention to them, serving up to them. And of course, it also comes with the their account balance as well. All this is great. You might have a question about how do customers get this? So they can simply go to Analytics Studio and then click on Create App. They can easily grab it through a template called Analytics for FSC Retail Banking. They can click Continue. It gives a nice overview of what the application contains with respect to sample dashboards, and of course, what are the objects that we are pulling in to the data flow so that you customers can go ahead and build your own visualizations. And then I click on Continue. It's going to do all the minimum requirements that are required for customers to install the application and then start using it. So all you have to do is click on this, and of course you have the nice opportunity to look at who gets to see what data. So you can apply the security predicate on each of those data sets with respect to the level of information that they can view, and then you click on continue. Your application is ready within minutes. Back to you, Lynn.
Thanks, Radha. And it's great to see all these pre-built dashboards that are built for Financial Services Cloud. What if you want to bring in and analyze some external data as well?
Oh, that's a great question. So with the Einstein Analytics platform, you are entitled to bring in any data through external data sources, whether it is through our connectors or it can be a CSV upload data as well. As a matter of fact, we are already providing them with a sample fees and charges data set that they can upload via CSV and then make their own visualization.
Got it. And then how much data can you actually bring in?
Oh, that's a great question. So with the new Einstein Analytics Plus license, you can visualize up to 1 billion rows.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing, Radha. And I want to wrap it up today by talking about some of the trails that we've built for you to learn more and get your hands on some of these products. So Einstein Analytics for Financial Services that Radha just talked about, that's a Trailhead that we're working on right now. But what we recently just released was a new Trailhead module for Lightning Scheduler. So this is going to help you learn how to get started with Lightning Scheduler and set up your appointment topics, templates, attendees, and really get Lightning Scheduler up and running for your business. So we're really looking forward to having you check it out and earning your next badge. And lastly, we want to wrap up our session today by making sure you're aware of and have access to all of our resources to learn more about Financial Services Cloud, as well as all the details on these new exciting features that the team walked through today. So thank you so much for your time. Really looking forward to you using these products and features and hearing your feedback. Thank you.